Over the past several years, I have covered numerous cases of meningococcal meningitis, particularly in college students. In fact, just yesterday, I reported a probable sixth case at Princeton University in New Jersey. And of course, you can see this report on theglobaldispatch.com. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to talk to Olympic medalist in swimming, Dara Torres, who is now a spokesperson for the advocacy organization Voices of Meningitis, to talk about this disease. Let's take a listen.
Joining me on the phone now is 12-time Olympic medalist, mother, University of Florida alum, and now an ambassador for the awareness organization Voices of Meningitis, Dara Torres. Good morning, Dara, and thanks for joining me on Dispatch Radio.
Good morning. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great. Well, earlier this summer, Voices of Meningitis rolled out the campaign Get in the Game, in which you are one of the spokespersons. Can you tell our audience a little bit about Get in the Game, Voices of Meningitis, and how you became involved with this worthwhile organization?
Well, it's a great cause. I don't think people realize that there is a disease out there, meningitis, that could be deadly if it's not caught within 24 hours. And it is rare, but it can happen, and it happens mostly to kids and teenagers. And so considering that I have almost 8-year-old and I have two twin 13-year-old stepkids, when I went to go speak with my daughter's healthcare physician, I wanted to learn more about it because it's just a really scary thing. And I know that I didn't know anything about it. I was around it when I was in college, even though I didn't really know the implications of how deadly this disease can be. But I didn't know a lot about it, and I thought, you know what, there are probably a ton of parents out there that don't know how important it is to get your kids vaccinated from meningitis. So it was kind of a no-brainer considering I have kids, and that if I read up on everything, and if I don't know about it, there's probably a lot of parents that don't know about meningitis.
Great. Yeah, and I've covered many stories over the past several years regarding college students contracting this infection over the past several years. You're a mom. What can you tell parents listening about meningococcal meningitis and the importance of getting their children vaccinated against this devastating disease? And what children are most at risk?
Well, first of all, you pronounce that very well. I'm very impressed because most people can't pronounce it. But it's something that can occur in close quarters, and that's why college kids are a little more prone to get this, or kids in sports. And the best thing to do is, school just started, kids are signing up for sports and stuff, to talk to like the physicians if you get physicals before you start a sport. If you're in college, talk to the college physicians there and find out more about it. There are colleges now that are sort of making it mandatory that you have to get the vaccination, but basically you get the vaccination when you're like between 11 and 12 years old, and then you get a booster one when you're 16 years old. And when I first started this campaign, I did it with two survivors of meningitis, and they both had lost limbs, had very, their blood was, had, blood disease from it, and, it was very sad to see what this disease can do. I mean, they were lucky to survive, but it made me want to even go out there more and get this point out there about how important this is. But you talk to your healthcare physician about it, and the best prevention is to get the vaccination for it.
Right.
And one other thing. I'd like to add one other thing that for your listeners is, there's a lot of information out there on the internet, but the best place to find it would be facebook.com/Voices of Meningitis.
Okay, yeah, I was going to get to that later in the interview.
Oh, sorry. Well,
no problem.
I'm a sprinter, I have to get everything in.
I know that. I've learned a lot about you in the past few days. Other than vaccination, are there other things that parents, children, and young adults can do to minimize the spread of this bacterium?
Yes, the biggest thing is when you're in close quarters, it's tough. You can get it like just being close to someone, and the biggest thing is when you're playing sports, don't share water bottles. Make sure that everything is cleaned after you wear it. Because when you're doing high school sports or college sports, there's a lot of shared equipment. Someone doesn't have like a Gatorade or something, and they want to borrow someone's out. You can get it someone else's. You can get it through saliva. So you really want to talk to your kids about just keeping what's yours and make sure you clean it and because that's one way that it can definitely spread. And when I was at Florida, there was someone an athlete who had gotten it, and they kind of quarantined us and gave us antibiotics and tested us to make sure none of us had it. But it's still at that point, you're in college and other people are looking after you, and you're like, okay, we're good, we don't have it. But I didn't really know what it is, and as a parent, it's a very scary thing to think about.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you mentioned all that because I covered a story just about a week or so ago concerning what they did up at Princeton. They're giving out these mine, not your cups to 5,000 students because they had a big outbreak over the spring.
Right.
Dara, where else can listeners find out more information on meningococcal meningitis and the organization Voices of Meningitis?
Well, it's like I said, you can always go on the internet and look at stuff, but the best place to find out about this and what the vaccinations can do is facebook.com/Voices of Meningitis. And also, talk to your healthcare provider.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic advice. I love having somebody on that can give advice to parents. I've had some people in the past, and they eat it up. It's so important, and this disease is so devastating. And I'd just like to thank you for your time, Dara Torres, and we appreciate the good work you're doing.
Well, thank you so much, and have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was a good interview, Dara Torres. And as I said to her, I really enjoy putting out, interviewing people that are discussing issues that are really applicable to parents and other everyday life type of issues. So, hopefully that's useful to everybody. And I really appreciated her coming on. One of the